Welcome back, everybody. This is EonShiKeno with HMTV with another StarCraft 2 commentary. Let me introduce our players. On the bottom left side of Entombed Valley, Team Liquid's second newest member. They just acquired Snoot, so before that they got C, so we're going to have Liquid C down here in the bottom left part of the map in the teal Terran. His opponent, Season 4 GSL Code S champion, and then after that, Blizzard Cup champion. It's ST Life. This guy is an amazing Zerg player. He'll be up in the red on the top side of the map. You know, when Life first came out, everybody was like, this guy's so young. I think he was 15 whenever he won. It was really interesting. I remember, yeah, he was just like was it the first Royal Roader? Which in GSL terms is just someone, it's their first attempt at playing in a league and they win the whole thing. So that's the definition of a Royal Roader. But he was the first one, if I recall correctly, to do that. So it's important stats for him. And he was just, the season he came out, he just dominated everything. It was just so his season to win, and he took it. It just went like clockwork. So I'm impressed to see ST Life's play grow as he grows himself. He's a young dude, so he's got a long future of StarCraft in him, if he so chooses. You know, once you have a GSL victory, it's kind of like at that point you kind of like, you pretty much got everything in the bag. I mean, you could go to any team at any point, short of doing something ridiculously stupid. But yeah, so he's got a long career in StarCraft ahead of him. Anyways, he's gonna go with the hatch first into the spawning pool. And Liquid C down here, he doesn't have that many statistics on him. I was checking him out before, but he just doesn't have that many, public games played because, before he joined Liquid, he wasn't really that well known, and just doesn't have that many matches played. So I'm not really sure like what his best matchup is or what his worst matchup is in cases like that. But I know Life's worst matchup is actually versus Terran. Up until this point, his weakest matchup is versus Terran, but even still, that matchup is like 55%. His other matchups are like 65 and 68, so he dominates so hard in the other ones. He's still positive, of course, versus Terran, but that is his weakest matchup. Maybe we'll see C with the upset. Of course, you would have to give Life the edge in this situation between these two players. Life is just the more experienced player. Of course, a lot more victories underneath his belt, and I think you would have to give it to him if you're gonna, play the odds on it. You put the good money, the smart money, as they would say, would be on Life. So C went up, did some scouting. He did manage to see the gas, and the gas is still being mined, even though he has started metabolic boost. That's one thing you always want to look out for if you can scout, or if you're gonna waste. Wouldn't really say waste a scan, but lower levels is not really much of a waste if you can't get in there to scout it, or you just if you have a build that's specifically tailored to dealing with the Zerg that is not going to tech very quickly. In a situation like this where you see they're getting a lot of gas, Life has two options. He could either hurry up, spin that gas, go for a tech, go up to a lair and use the gas that way, or he can just make a whole bunch of roaches. But he's going to go with the first option here and tech up off one extractor, and then we're going to have the other extractors pop up as well. Going to pop out over here. So Liquid C with the bunker in the back. It's funny to look, I remember back when StarCraft first started out and everybody built their bunker at the front of the ramp. That was the go-to spot, and slowly it's made its way all the way back here to the corner behind a mineral patch up against the wall. This is a far superior position. Covers the mineral line. It's harder to get a surface area around it to attack with Zerglings. Much easier to defend. And also covers your ramp up here as well. If they try to break up through here, or try to bust through here, you still have some guys shooting out the bottom. So multiple uses, multiple reasonings to have it way back here, as opposed to being at the front of your base. Later on, we're probably going to see a wall off up here at the front from C if Life becomes very aggressive. So he does scout it. He does see the reactored Hellions coming out here. So he will have to put up some defense. Life has only got two bases. He has a Mutalisk going to be coming out pretty soon. The Spire just went down. And of course, there's a Spine Crawler. He knows this. Okay, he's going to have Hellions, but I'm going to have Mutalisk, so he needs a little bit of base defense. You have to have some base defense to deal with these Hellions if you want to put pressure on with the Mutas. Because if you tech the Mutas and don't do any damage, it's kind of it's not really that good because you have 2 base Zerg versus a 2 base Terran, and that's not really the position the Terran player wants to be in. So C's going to come up here and scout the 3rd base, not see it, and then of course instantly he's going to think, okay, obviously he's on 2 base for the most part, and more than likely it's going to be Muta play if you know Life's style. So the Hellions are running around trying to snag these Zerglings. He does not want to let Life have map control. And will he be able to shot? That Zergling's going as fast as he can. He's not going to make it home. He's going to make it to the bakery. And then some char-broiled Zerglings. 3rd hatch now finally goes down. You know, we do see with map control, but 4 Hellions isn't that much. You know, you don't really have to worry about a hatchery going down. He also has Mutalisk going to be coming out pretty soon. He hasn't yet taken up these destructible rocks. I'm surprised he hasn't moved this spine crawler a little bit over here and then started attacking it. A lot of players will do that. Protoss players will even put a photon cannon so it covers the ramp for one, and it'll also allow you to attack the destructible rocks when you feel you got like an opening. So the scan lands, great timing, sees the spire, he sees the evolution chamber, he sees the gas, and he sees all the Zerg cocoons here, so he knows there's more than likely a bunch of Muta in there. The 3rd will be easily gonna go up, and at this point, you know, C is well aware of this. You can tell by the missile turrets he's being built. He's got upgrades coming, so this game is gonna go on for a little bit longer. He even has a 3rd base up here that was scouted out by Life, so Life is aware of the type of army composition we're gonna see here from C. And this has been said before, but it does bear repeating. You know, double upgrades for a Terran player that's gonna go like mostly Marine into tank is just so necessary. You know, 1 upgrade is kind of, it just never really happens anymore with most Terran players that decide to tech and want to play a late game. It's just you get 2 upgrades at the same time because, you know, why not? You can afford it. What else are you spending your gas on? You know, concussion shells, or I mean, it's STEM. It's like a factory. You know, maybe a couple tech labs or reactors, something like that. But if you got the extra gas and money, you know, get those double upgrades started. Get those Marines in killer mode even more. So a couple of Hellions going to make their way to the top. See a bunch of creep tumors, and they will run up there. Scan goes down. He does see the base, but the Zerglings are in position, and they will be fought back. We're going to have a little bit of a micro battle on the ramp. That Hellion goes down, but the Muta do show up, and they will be able to take out the rest of those Hellions. Those guys will be forced to fall back, and Life is going to take this opportunity to go ahead and take a 4th base. Perfect opportunity to take a 4th base. He knows, you know what, there's only a couple Hellions out. Even if they show up, they're not going to be able to kill this hatchery. He can just let this sit here, get shot all day long, and it's not really going to matter. But Life is kind of dancing around with these Muta. He did go in once. There's a lot of missile turrets over. C really not letting Life harass at all. Just really did a nice job of keeping you know, a sufficient number of missile turrets back at home to deal with stuff like that. Oh wow, a flying orbital command contaminated. You don't see that every day. So Marines do show up. Oh, look at that. We've got the shields just now finishing, so this is going to be a decent timing here for C. I don't know if he really wants to come out with this attack. He's got so many Marines, this makes sense if he's just going to kill creep tumors and fall back, but I don't really think C should continue to pressure, and he's going to fall back. Yeah, he's going to go back. Okay. That would have been a bad move for him to continue that pressure. There's so many Zerglings out on the map, and of course the Mutal. He's even going to lose 2 medevacs. That's going to be bad for him. He's not microing those guys back, because Zerglings do take a lot of damage there. And the Muta are still relatively alive, and of course as soon as all the Zerglings die and the Banelings die, no point for those Mutalisks to stick around to fight those Marines head up. That's going to be a losing fight for Life. 4th base is finished. 6 Infestors coming out, so we're going to have Infestors mixed into the army composition of Life. Armor upgrades on the way, attack upgrades as well. We haven't seen any more upgrades coming from Life, actually none at all for these Mutalisks, so this is kind of like, you know, his attempt to control the map a little bit, kill the Hellions, and maybe go in there and grab a couple kills. It really wasn't his whole game plan from the looks of it. He just wanted to get enough Muta are out to do a little bit of scouting, and of course, like I said, get map control for the most part, and apply pressure back on his opponent. Force him to make a lot of those missile turrets, which C did quite a few of. C just trying to hold that middle ground. He's trying to hold that Xel'Naga tower that supplies him so much vision in this game. You can see on the minimap just the insane amount of vision you get from that Xel'Naga tower. Definitely worth it if you can hold those. You know, the problem is, though, usually those Xel'Naga towers are in position that leaves you kind of vulnerable. So you have to have enough power to take them over and, of course, hold it. But look at this. Oh, no, the Zerglings are going to get in here, and they're going to get an SCV train along the way. There's not that many Marines over here for it. Those guys are going to fall really quickly. This barracks being built over here. We do have a wall up here with the supply depots, but it's not going to matter. These guys went straight to the front door. Nice Baneling connect right there on all those SCVs. And those SCVs are trying to make a run forward back to the Marines in the backup. But that was a really successful attack there by Life. You know, he lost a couple of Zerglings, but he killed so many units. Oh, this is a great timing now for Life. Going to go straight into the middle after all those Marines pull back. The Zerglings going to come there. The timing is a little bit messed up now. Oh yeah, that would have been so much better if Life would have timed all those units of his army hitting at the exact same time. If you had the Infestors show up, the Zerglings show up, and the Mutalisks show up at the exact same time, he could have completely finished that army off totally. You know, he saw the huge number of Marines head down to the third base to confront his Muta, and that was a perfect timing that he noticed, and he realized, okay, I can attack whatever's army left in the middle. And unfortunately, it didn't work out as planned, but it was a great idea. It was a good attempt. So many Infestors out here. That is a lot of Infestors, guys. He's just going to throw fungal growths down all over the place. A lot of Infestors going to go down. Zerglings in the back, snagging a siege tank. And with this many Infestors, you can just literally stop this army in its tracks. And of course, the tanks do have tracks, so, you know, literally. Zerglings and Banelings, Mutalisks down here just stopping the reinforcements from arriving. The Infestors are holding their own back here, including taking a couple pot shots from the siege tanks. And here we go. The attack's going to come in from the bottom. The attack's going to come in from the top. So many Infested Terran being dropped. Zerglings just going to swarm everything. Muta goes straight for the siege tanks. Siege tanks fall, and now the siege tanks are going to all go down, and the medevacs won't probably get home either. Nice fungal growth there. I love that. I love when players take down those medevacs, because if you can just stop the medevac count from going up, Marine armies just fall under their own weight of all the stim they use. Or at least it forces them not to be able to use stim. And Life completely shut that down, playing nice and passive there in that situation. He handled that attack beautifully. You know, Life didn't get in there, didn't get to accomplish much of anything. He lowered the life from the extractor, maybe killed a couple Zerglings, of course. But all those bodies here, that's going to be a graveyard for the Terran player more so. And there we got it, the GG. Life takes a convincing win against C. For the most part, the game was pretty even. We had the opening. I thought the Mutalisks didn't do very much, but after that attack, he came in with the Mutalisks coming right in through the middle of the base with the Zerglings, killed a lot of SCVs, a couple Marines, forced that army to come back, set himself up for a really great attack in the middle, which was a great opportunity, but it fortunately didn't work out as planned. But, you know, C was like, I really want to go for an attack now. It wasn't enough, and Life just played it safe and cool and took C out with Zerglings, Banelings, and Mutalisks. And, of course, those nice, awesome Infestors. Such a great unit. So once again, guys, thank you for watching. If you want to check out more of my stuff, go over to youtube.com/EonShiKeno. See you guys later.